Hello everybody and welcome to another tutorial in camera and lens repair. And this time I will really like to try to remove all fungus in my old Micro-NIKKOR 55mm 3.5. This nice old lens, which is actually a very good lens, and it works. I mean, the focusing is fine, the aperture is fine, everything except well, there is actually some fungus in this lens. You probably can see it. I think if we try to put on some light through it, you probably yeah, I know it's difficult to see, but there is actually a lot in here. You probably can see it better there. Well, you will see. But to get into it and tools and so, we need a 1.2mm flathead screwdriver. That's it. A tweezer can be very handy, but no, it's more important that we use some of those rubber cones from Hydrogen tool, and we will need some hydrogen peroxide 3%, and maybe a tool to make some scratch, which is really good in this case. And we will also need some cleaning wipes, and I like this peg pad, which I think is good, and together with the hydrogen peroxide, and also maybe I will also use some Eclipse cleaning fluid to do the final cleaning. Maybe not. I had some issue coming into it because I thought, okay, I can just take out the front here and take out the lens element out. No, you cannot. But let's get into it. We do not, it's not really important to take that off, so we will not do that. But set it to 32 aperture and at infinity. See here, all the way to infinity. So now we are ready, but of course we will it's with the assemble process, sorry. Well, we need to set it to near end, we'll say something like that, to get into the little set screw here on the front ring here, because we'll need to take this off this way. Now, off with the screw, and it's quite easy, but it's tiny set screw, so be aware of it. Put it away. It's good with a magnetized screwdriver. So, and we will need to unscrew this the ring here this way, counterclockwise, and for that we can use this, or we can just grab on it. I mean, if it's way too tight, one can actually use some of those rubber gloves, working gloves, or maybe this one can go here. This is also a rubber gasket, 56.6mm, which I buy in the hardware store. It looks like, maybe it's difficult to see, I know. It's have a number 8510 and 50 /32 to 40, and it's called for Lu. Yeah, I think it must be that. Well, you can probably get it into hardware stores where you buy stuff, tools and so on, and you can grab on it and gently turn it. Sometimes they can sit really tight, and yeah, it can be a problem now and then. So unscrew the ring, it's nothing special. And now we have to set it on infinity. So turn the focusing ring all the way to infinity here. Have a finger in here so it will not just pop out. Now we can then, remember, the aperture is closed at 32. So fully closed, and we can then turn it over and pop it out. So, and this is what we see inside here. There is a fork here for the aperture parts, moving parts. The big gap here is for the this part here, and the other one, of course, have a narrow gap, is for the tiny screw here. So when we move it, it will then open and close. So that's it. We can just set the focusing assembly apart and set our eyes on the front lens, because it's on the inside the front lens where the Fungus is. And maybe we can, if we do so, have a little torch and look through it. Well, there are some dirt and dust. Oh, I set a fingerprint in here. Yeah, well, it's not really easy to see, but we need to go into the actual front lens, and it was really tight. So I use the rubber cones here and simply put in the number 5. You can see they have the numbers. So I put all the other 1 to 5, put all the other into here and turn it. And I will come back to it. And then you have a good pressure on it. See, if it's way too tight, that could be an issue. We will need some isopropyl alcohol, 99% or so. Maybe you can use 80 or so. I don't know. I only use this one. But you can, if it sits too tight, we can just put it in again so you can see what's going on. Now, if we look closer to here, there is a kind of a gap here around, and by adding a lot of, some drops of isopropyl alcohol directly into here and let it just suck in, and you can do it different places, you will see the isopropyl alcohol will suck into the gap, and that's good. You maybe have to let it sit a while. Maybe it's just easy to turn, but of course now it's since I have been into it, it's quite easy to unscrew. So, and then we have it here. The aperture assembly and the back lens group, we do not need to go into it. It's only happen on the front. Now, well, I think, okay, I can unscrew this, the back lens group on the front, on the front group, and it's good before you go into it, just to be sure where it sits. Make a scratch like this one here, and then use the rubber cones and we have to have a smaller one, like this, number 3. It will be that. Put it on here and take care of the back lens element. It's not where, this is not where the fungus is. It's on the, yeah, you will see. So have a good grip here, and if it's too hard to actually turn, well, you can use number 5, see here, and simply put the 2 cones in and then turn it. It can be tight, and it was not the case here. So now we'll look into it here, and I think this lens had a hard time. We can just do this and then pop off the cones. Now turn it, and then we have it here. There's nothing here on this one, so it's actually pretty good. Just use a little cover for this one, so there will not be too much dust. Well, it's nothing here on the front, but inside here it is where things happen. So we can see if we can see anything through the lens. Well, there's some dirt and dust, but it's more on this side. Well, here we can see a lot of old fungus. So is it possible to remove that old? I mean, it has been there for years, decades maybe. And if I just use a rubber glove, well, nothing really happened. So I might think, okay, you cannot use any I mean, we can try to use the Eclipse just to see what's happened. Maybe it will work, maybe not. But I prefer to use the I cut the the wipes in smaller pieces because it's just more economical with this. So let's see, we have seen it, and I actually took a picture before I disassembled the lens. But now we can see if it's possible to remove it with the with this one here. Maybe, maybe not. Well, let's see. It goes anyway. Well, well, there's some left. So I will just continue to use the hydrogen peroxide and go for that. And this is just what it is. Nothing special. You can buy it on the apotheke probably, and just give it a little go. That's it. And so, and now we'll just clean it and do, that's the only thing I will do to this lens. Just have a light pressure on it. And what's going on here? I mean, to me it looks more clear. But of course there is a lot of dirt and dust on the other side. So maybe I just have to remove that. I think. Just try a normal lens cleaning. Yeah, there are something which I think, On the edge of the lens, seeing from outside here, there is something, but I think it's more dust and dirt. Sorry. All this corona thingy. No. So we can just do it again with a cotton bud and see if we can get the dirt away on the edge of the lens. Well, it helps. Yeah, I think it will be that, and I think I will not do anything else with it. I have a scratch here. You probably can see down here. There's a big old scratch, not mine. But I think I will just give the lens here on the back a little go for the with the Eclipse, just to do a final go. I could use some lighter fluid, but well, I think this is also very good. So it will be that. In this case, there are many other ways of doing that. So, wow, it helps. It helps really a lot. So how about that? Well, as I was thinking about, okay, is it really possible to take out the front lens from its mount somewhere? No, it's not really. So I think, okay, is it possible? You can see there is a difference in, it looks like a kind of a ring that if I move that, I could take the whole assembly out the front. No, but I found out without using a lot of force and even more lighter fluid, not lighter fluid, but isopropyl alcohol or nail polish remover to this ring. Actually, it's just a what do you say, a ring that really tight. But I actually get into that bloody ring, and we can see by putting all those together. And where can we do that? Maybe if we do so. And it was actually, it comes out by using a lot of force, but it's just for the design. The ring does not anything. It covers the holes, the two mountain holes here. So if you want to use a compass or so, you can just unscrew this. But this one was so tight, so I think, okay, it will be a no-go. Just put this in again, and it's not really necessary to take this out. But of course, if you can, you probably will make it easier to unscrew the the front here. But I think it was interesting just to see there was nothing really useful. Now the lens looks so much better, so I will see if there is anything here. Doesn't really seem to be that. So I think I will just put this together. Maybe if we take a torch through it. Well, there is actually something on. So I think I will just clean it. I think it's more on the back here, which I think, yeah. and it's not really possible to unscrew that lens because it sits in the mount. So there's nothing really to do about that. And just need a little stand to put the lens on, so it'll make things a little easier to do something with. Now let's try with the Eclipse first, and a little help from a cotton bud. So we can just do this, and it will make things a little easier. And of course there will be some small hairs. Yeah, I think it looks fine. And we'll just do the other side. It's good to have a kind of a stand to put that on, and we will just use the other corner. Okay. It was not so good. It's easier with the it's just easier with the help from the cotton bud. Oh gosh, so that here. It will make things a little easier when you so I think that would be fine. Sometimes it could be a little tricky. Yeah, I think that's fine for now. Well, you can see there is a there's a little dirt on. Just do this. So, and then we can put it together. No hairs, no, I mean, it's not a new lens. What do you expect? Go a little backward, click, and then it will be up to the mark here. And we'll just do the, yep. So, and now it sits where it sits before I took it apart. Well, it helps a lot. I mean, the fungus is gone, so that's actually a good success. So I will just put the front lens group into the body, and I might think there is something here on the back. And we can just do the back here. There was a fingerprint on it. Just get rid of that. Yeah, I think it's fine for now. And then put the lens into the, so here, and going backwards a little, click. and then screw it in. Give it a good tight screwing, and then it's actually ready for putting into the focusing mount again. And it has to be on 32. It will say fully closed aperture. This has to go all the way over here, and this one has to go all the way over there to the middle of it. Well, I should have said you have to set some marks when it's fully closed on the aperture, so it will be a bigger help for you to put it there, and this one has to go over there. Now we can actually put it in, and the best thing is to set the focus to infinity and the aperture ring to 32, because then it will be a lot easier to catch the two forks here. It can only sit in one position, so there should not be any problem with that. Take care of the fully exposed back lens. It's kind of a fragile, you can say, if you drop the lens assembly. Now put it in, and you can fully see what's happened. This pin goes to the bigger gap here, and the other one, of course, so when the aperture is fully closed, the aperture ring is set to 32. You should be able to just pop it in here. I know it's difficult to see, but so, and then pop it in. Then you can turn the focusing ring, because this screw, which is not a screw, it's for making some adjustment. It has to go into the gap here, and then press it in. Should work. Something is wrong. So we might think there is something that is not correctly in place. So give it another go. Well, see this all the way over here, and the other one has, well, it has not really moved on. So maybe it's easier to just put it into the other one and catch this gap here, and well, I see the point. This one has to go there and there. 32. It should work, but it can be sometimes a little tricky thing to put on the the pins on the fork, and we can possibly, so it sits there, and move this a little, so, and now it sits there, you see, and then I should be able to turn the aperture ring, and everything is back to normal. You should not use, you should not adjust this kind of screw, but it is an eccentric for move the inner part here back one or the other direction to fine-tune the what it is, so the aperture sits correct. And then I can actually put the front ring on, going a little backward to catch the thread, that's it, and then screw it in. You have to have it tighten it good. So, and then put in the tiny set screw, which is really tiny, and that's it. Going a little backward to catch the thread will sometimes make it easier to actually catch the thread. So do not over tighten it, because it's a set screw, and if you damage the screw, you probably have a problem. And the screw has to be screwed as long in so the focusing ring can be turned without scratching the inner of the front, the name ring here, we can call it. So everything is actually back to normal, so that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. And that was actually that. It was very interesting to see. I mean, how many years has this Fungus sit on this lens? I have no idea. But since it's gone, we will just take a after picture. So I hope you enjoy the content of this video, which might be helpful in some cases. Just to remember that it is in many cases actually possible to remove old fungus in lenses. So that's it, all for me. Bye bye.